He checked his bank account again at 2:17 a.m., heart pounding in the blue light of his phone. $3,000 gone in 30 days. Not stolen. Not invested. Just spent. Dinners he barely remembered. Trips he couldn't afford. Gadgets he didn't need. And somehow, every purchase had started with the same sentence, "Everyone else is going." That was the moment he realized something terrifying. He wasn't losing money because he was lazy. He wasn't broke because he lacked ambition. He was losing money because he was surrounded. And what if the people laughing beside you every weekend are the reason your future keeps getting smaller? What if the real danger isn't poverty, but popularity? What if the most expensive decision you make this year isn't an investment mistake, but a social one? This is Unspoken Finance, where we expose the quiet financial truths people only discover when it's too late. Stories about money, pressure, psychology, and the hidden forces shaping your future. If you've ever felt like your income disappears faster than it grows, if you've ever said yes when you wanted to say no, this story might feel personal. Subscribe now, because what you're about to hear could change how you see your circle forever. Daniel had always believed he was responsible. He had a stable job, consistent income, and no dangerous habits. He didn't gamble. He didn't overspend on luxury brands. He wasn't reckless. But his calendar was never empty. Every week carried an event. Someone's birthday dinner. A promotion celebration. A quick night out that never stayed quick. Weekend trips that started as cheap getaways and ended costing far more than expected. Each expense felt justified. Life was meant to be enjoyed. Memories mattered. Experiences were priceless. At least, that's what everyone said. And Daniel wanted to belong. He didn't want to be labeled difficult. He didn't want to appear financially weak. He didn't want to miss out on moments that everyone else would remember together. So he swiped his card. Again. And again. The pressure was never direct. No one forced him. No one demanded anything. But silence can be louder than words. When someone suggested an expensive rooftop lounge, hesitation was met with awkward pauses. When international trips were proposed, excitement filled the chat instantly. Backing out felt like social suicide. Slowly, Daniel began measuring his success against the biggest spender in the room. If they upgraded their phone, he felt behind. If they moved into a nicer apartment, he questioned himself. If they traveled abroad twice a year, he wondered why he hadn't. He wasn't chasing happiness anymore. He was chasing comparison. And comparison is a silent tax on your future. The wake-up call wasn't dramatic. It was ordinary. His car needed repairs. A basic mechanical issue. Nothing life-shattering. But when the bill arrived, Daniel felt something unfamiliar: panic. He opened his savings account. It was thinner than he expected. Months of income had evaporated into social spending. Tiny leaks. Consistent leaks. Invisible leaks. He realized something uncomfortable. He could afford his lifestyle only as long as nothing went wrong. And life always goes wrong eventually. Financial stability isn't tested when everything is smooth. It's tested when friction appears. Daniel had built a lifestyle. He had not built protection. Instead of stepping back immediately, Daniel did what most people do. He doubled down. He worked overtime to afford the next trip. He split expenses across credit cards. He told himself this was temporary. Just one more season of fun. Just one more celebration. Just one more experience. But debt has a quiet voice. It whispers in due dates. It breathes in interest charges. It grows in silence. The joy began to shrink. At dinners, he calculated instead of relaxed. On trips, he worried about the bill waiting at home. In photos, he smiled, but his mind was subtracting numbers. He wasn't present anymore. He was performing. One quiet Sunday, something shifted. Daniel printed his bank statements for the past year. Line by line, he categorized every social expense. Dining, travel, events, gifts, subscriptions he didn't even use. The total was shocking. Not because it was luxurious, but because it was repetitive. If that money had been saved consistently, he would have had a 6-month emergency fund. If invested monthly, it could have started compounding quietly in the background. If redirected intentionally, it could have funded his side business idea he always postponed. And then the deeper realization arrived. His friends weren't trying to sabotage him. They were simply living according to their own financial realities, realities he did not fully understand. Some had family support. Some carried hidden debt. Some didn't think long-term at all. But Daniel had assumed equal spending meant equal stability. It didn't. Spending is visible. Wealth is invisible. And he had been copying visibility. The next invitation tested him. A luxury weekend getaway. Flights. Hotel. Activities. Group coordination already underway. Daniel felt the familiar pull, excitement mixed with fear of missing out. This time, he paused longer. He imagined 2 futures. One where he continued saying yes, staying socially included but financially stagnant. Another where he endured short-term discomfort, but built long-term security. He declined. The group chat went quiet. Then came the jokes. Comments about him becoming boring. Someone said he had changed. They were right. He had. Because growth always looks like betrayal to people who benefit from your old habits. And in that moment, Daniel learned the hardest money lesson of his life. You cannot build wealth while trying to fund someone else's lifestyle expectations. Months passed. Daniel automated his savings. Small, consistent transfers. He invested modestly. Nothing flashy. Nothing dramatic. He still saw his friends, but on new terms. Coffee instead of clubs. Walks instead of flights. Simpler gatherings. Some friendships adjusted. Some faded. And then something unexpected happened. The same friends who once teased him began expressing stress. Rising rent. Credit card balances. Job instability. Quiet financial anxiety hidden behind curated photos. The glamorous lifestyle began revealing cracks. Daniel wasn't rich. But he was stable. And stability feels like freedom long before wealth does. Years later, the difference was undeniable. Not in cars. Not in designer clothes. But in peace. Daniel could handle emergencies without panic. He could say yes to opportunities without fear. He could sleep without checking his balance at 2 a.m. He learned a truth most people never say out loud. You rarely become poor overnight. You become poor slowly. Socially. Repeatedly. Smiling in group photos while your financial foundation erodes quietly underneath you. The most dangerous financial advice rarely sounds like advice. It sounds like an invitation. And the most powerful word in personal finance isn't invest. It isn't budget. It isn't compound. It's no. Because every time you say yes to pressure, you may be saying no to your future freedom. If this story felt personal, comment "NO" below if you're choosing your future over pressure. Like this video if it opened your eyes. And subscribe to Unspoken Finance, where we expose the hidden psychology shaping your money, your mindset, and your future.